Moving on to Junto Nakatani,
Ooh, let's
defended
go.
the WBC bantamweight title, really starting to cement himself in the bottom half of that top 10 pound for pound list. Um, Initial thoughts, and then let's get to the main topic at hand with Nakatani. Can he beat Inoue? But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, he fought Salapat. Salapat's not really anything crazy to write home about. He's a semi.
72-1. Fuck.
No, but like if you really check under the hood and you
No,
look
I
at the
know,
resume,
I know, I know. But
yeah,
still,
these
looks
guys in
good.
Thailand nobody knows about with like 5-22
Wasn't there a
records.
dude who was 50-0 from Thailand? It's not the same guy.
Yeah, Wang Hang
There you
Maniotham from
go. Yeah,
105. He
yeah,
was like, yeah.
yeah.
But no, it was pretty much what I thought it would be. It would be Junto getting off on a inferior fighter that hadn't fought at that level before. So I mean, I wasn't. There's not really too much for me to dissect. He did the normal Junto thing where he gets off his shots at mid range and just slowly but surely breaks these guys down.
The first time I heard the term brick hand was from Gervonta Davis's camp, covering him here in Vegas as he was getting ready for Santa Cruz. I mean, brick hand, the brick hand, and finding out it's your backhand. If you're a southpaw, it's your left hand. If you're a righty, it's your right hand. Um, and Nakatani, a southpaw like Davis, has a motherfucking brick in his brick hand.
He does.
His left hand, arguably a top five punch in boxing.
Damn, that's a. I have to really think about that one, but that's a pretty big claim.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
it's.
just saying it off top. Like I haven't
I mean,
made a
like
list, but
when you think of the Junto left hand, you think of instantly the Maloney knockout, and all these other fights where he's getting
that was the
knockouts.
knockout of the year.
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah, and Junto. The thing about Junto too is he's not like a lot of these other Japanese fighters. I love the Japanese fighters, but the style from Japan is very like all the fighters kind of fight similar. He's different in the sense that he can fight from different ranges. He's not so over reliant upon the mid range or just punches down the middle. He could fight on the inside a little bit here and there. He has a bit of that Mexican American influence from Rudy Hernandez because he spent most of his time as a youth, a lot of his time as a youth, training with Rudy Hernandez. So he's going to have some of that influence in him. So I really do think he's one of the most dynamic talents in boxing, and
Yep.
I can't wait to see how it continues to go for him.
That's got to be paying dividends working out in California. California, arguably the best, and Vegas and a few other places, but you could argue Cali as having the best sparring in the sport in the United States. There's just a lot of talent out there in those gyms,
A lot
and
of lot
yeah,
lot of talent, a lot of different types of looks, and you're always gonna get guys coming from all over the world, just like Vegas. Guys come from all over the world just to train at these places.
yeah, and man, yeah, he's got a great left hand, great performance against this guy. I would still favor the monster. I still favor Inoue because now at the same time, Luis Neri taking advantage of Inoue leaving his chin up, and Inoue to me is number two pound for pound, and the most Ennis is so much more unproven, but along with Ennis, maybe the most like athletic fighter in boxing today,
In
Inoue.
a way, yeah,
And I might have him over Ennis too, because Ennis doesn't have the explosiveness with his feet that
yeah,
Inoue does.
and that explosive first step to cover all that ground so quickly.
To the feet. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yep,
And
yeah.
and um so I'm still but Luis Neri with his left hand was able to drop Inoue, taking advantage of one of his flaws, leaving his chin up when he punches sometimes. And maybe Nakatani could do the same and do more that he did. But go ahead.
Yeah. See, me, I a lot of people are writing off Junto in that fight. I love Junto. I think Junto have a great shot to beat Inoue because it's not so much just that break hand or that left hand down the middle. It's also the fact that he's a volume puncher, and I think one of the attributes if you're gonna beat a guy like Inoue, one of the attributes a fighter has to have is that the ability to be a volume puncher, which he has, and he's taller, so he actually has the unique blend to mix things up. He could, keep on the outside because he's gotten better fighting tall, and then he could pick his spots when to be the volume puncher. And I think those things are going to have to force Naoya Inoue to make adjustments he's never had to make in his career, and that's where we're gonna really find out. We know Inoue is great. We know he's this destructive wrecking ball of a fighter in these lower weight classes, but that's gonna really show, what level his boxing IQ is on when he has to fight a fighter that really makes him have to adjust.
Yeah, I think from a boxing fan standpoint, you got to see him Inoue before you go to 26.
Yeah,
And his argument would be why
but
the goal is accomplished at 22. I became undisputed.
well, I'll give you one reason why, and I'm gonna really sound off on this right here. Like before they fought, he was getting asked a bunch of questions from the Japanese media about when he's gonna fight Junto, and to that he said, well look, I love to fight him. He's at 118. He wants to unify. He should fight. He should fight my brother. He should fight Takuma, right? And Takuma
Not
got
even on my level. Let my little homies ride on you, bitch,
yeah.
man. Yeah. He was like Tupac sicking the
Yeah,
outlaws
pretty
on
much, and
Big.
he would,
Yeah.
and Takuma had a very tough fight on his hands with Seiya Tsutsumi. And anybody who watched Tsutsumi knows how tough that fight was going to be for Takuma, and Takuma got beat the hell up. So I feel like, look, you got to fight him just off the strength of that. You got to fight him just off the strength of him, beating up on the guy that, you know, beating up on a guy that fought your brother, or no, like I just think Junto, and in a way, it's a fight that needs to happen for Japan. It's a fight that needs to happen for the lower weight classes. And people have been adamant with me. Sean, I'm really close to Angelo Leo at featherweight. People have been adamant with me. In a way, just runs through everyone at featherweight. So since he just runs through everyone at featherweight, then have him fight Junto. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not a master of Japanese boxing history.
Right.
I know man, now fighting Harada was kind of the GOAT of Japan up until Inoue kind of established himself as a new GOAT from Japan.
Fighting Harada and Yoko Goishin. Is that his
Right.
name? Guy with the afro who had like a bunch of defenses. I think it was like 108 or 112. Those
Brendan
like the
spent
two.
time in Japan, so he's a little more well versed than me on it.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the two guys that you'll always hear about. Fighting Harada, and I'm probably even saying his name wrong. Yoko Goishin, the guy from like 108 that had like a truckload of defenses. He's in the boxing Hall of Fame. Like he has a plaque and everything in the Hall of Fame. So other than those guys, he's 4 division champion. One of the highest knockout ratios in boxing. He's up there.
All
He's
right,
in
all
the
right. I'm just testing my audio on another thing. Okay, okay, cool. So go ahead and talk because I think I just fixed our audio issue a little bit.